welcome back to Talking Wanderers. I'm Neil Bonner, and with me today are Wanderers correspondents Mark Isles and Liam Cronell, and we'll be reflecting on last week's victory at Wigan Athletic and the forthcoming run of fixtures. Okay, boys, we said, didn't we, that as soon as they got those big games out of the way, that they'd zoom up the table. They went out of the relegation zone, dropped back into it, but certainly things are looking a lot healthier, aren't they, after Saturday's win at Wigan?
Yeah, you read it here first. Things were dramatically better at the DW Stadium. Wigan contributed to their own downfall, fair enough, but I think you've got to be there to take chances, and I think pretty much everybody that walked off the pitch there had improved on what we'd seen in the last few weeks, so hopefully now they can use that as a platform and go on from here.
Yeah, there's real credit though to Coyle, I think, because the pressure was on. We spoke about it last week, and you saw the relief from him, especially at the final whistle, and you could tell it was such a big result for them, and I think it was. They really needed that. Wigan may have helped them, but like you say, you've got to take your chances, and I think suddenly in the space of a week everything's looking up now.
Martinez afterwards said that Bolton will be safe. Everybody looks at Bolton as an established team now who know how to do what needs to be done. Some of that Martinez said, is that because maybe he's got bigger problems than Owen Coyle, looking at the performance on Saturday?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think Wigan are a poor side. They've been a poor side for a number of years now, but they've lost in Zogbia, who was a key player for them. He must have got them, like 10, 15 points a season. Obviously, Rod Lager's had his injury problems, but I think they're really going to struggle this season. And if Bolton can't finish above them, they don't deserve to stay up.
I think that the other thing is managers will very rarely put their neck on the line and say, so and so is going to struggle. Wigan will struggle. Yeah. But I think with the promoted teams doing quite well this season, there are going to be the Wigans, the Blackburns. There are going to be some established Premier League teams that are going to have to bail themselves out this season. So Wanderers want to make sure that they're not in that mix.
Is it not just that they've come into the division, the promoted teams, and they're having a bit of a honeymoon period? Do you think they might slip? Or are these teams a bit better than previous ones?
That's possible. I think with QPR, for example, they're going to be able to go out and buy in January and make sure that they're not going to be in that mix. Swansea, you can argue, yes, maybe Norwich as well, but I just have this feeling that this year we're going to lose a couple of the established ones, and as I say, as long as it's not Wanderers, I don't mind.
Yeah. Players play well Saturday. Pick them out.
Eagles had a fantastic game. The more I think about it, the better his game was. He was terrorising them at one point. Everything was going down the right hand side. But I thought David Wheater coming back into the team was terrific. He was an absolute rock early on when Wigan looking like they might just get through. But some of the tackles he made really sort of set the tone for the whole day. And you've got to argue, the changes that Coyle made, they worked on the day.
Yeah. One or two players out of the side as well who were fixtures and fittings in the past, like Mwamba and Zach Knight. What's the story behind it? Just shows Owen Coyle's brave to make the changes.
I mean, he showed a ruthless side that we've rarely seen before in his time at the Reebok. Maybe he hasn't had the opportunity before, but because he's suddenly assembled a bigger squad that he obviously can bring players in. But for the likes of Steinson, I mean, we adhered to it earlier in the week, but I think his days could be numbered at Bolton, out of contract, injury problems, and when you think the likes of Sam Ricketts and Tyrone Mears have got to come back into the team, you can see how far down the pecking order he is. I think Knight's got a future at the club. It was just simply he's been playing poorly, and Wheater deserved his chance.
That's a good thing though, isn't it, having that sort of competition?
Yeah,
of course Boyata's the man in possession as well, so there's a good competition there, and maybe in other areas of the side as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and if you want to do well, and that was one of the problems last year when they ran out of steam. It was because of lack of players. I mean, if Coyle said it once, he said it 12 times. He didn't have the players to bring in to change things around when they were struggling. Now he does, and hopefully things are looking up.
Are we in danger of over-egging the cake a little bit though here? I mean, obviously Bolton were bottom of the table. They beat a poor Wigan side who gave the ball away, gifted goals. Should we just keep a cool head and wait and see how Bolton go on against some of the other teams outside the top six?
Yeah, I think you've got to, haven't you? I mean, the proof will be in Sunderland this weekend, because they've got to turn around home form. If you're looking to become mid-table side, a top 10 side, as I'm sure before the season we were all hoping that Bolton would be, then you've got to beat Sunderland at home, and you've got to beat Norwich at home, and these are the results that they've got to start ticking over. It's okay saying we've played bad sides, but you know, you've got to produce the results now, and they've got a nice little run now before Christmas where they can establish themselves and push themselves back up. So, you know, now's the pressure. As much as, you know, the big teams were difficult, now's the pressure for Owen Cole to prove that he can do it.
Great. Okay, lads. Well, thanks very much for that. Well, thanks, lads. Another Talking Wanderers there. Thanks for logging on and watching us, and log on next week for the next edition.